This week, investors lack confidence amid high volatility in stock markets. On the one hand, economic data proves that the worst has passed and the economic activity has reached the bottom. But on the other hand, the US is logging growing infection rates, thus dispelling the hope for a V-shaped recovery in the US economy. The US dollar is trading steadily. The Wall Street rally has been propped up by upbeat economic data and the Fed's pledges to carry on with more fiscal stimulus. However, the recent news, including geopolitical developments, dent optimism among investors. Meanwhile, market participants are cautious about buying risky assets in light of the fatal clashes between Chinese and Indian soldiers in the western Himalayas, high epidemic rates in the US, and a new coronavirus outbreak in Beijing. Futures on Dow Jones rose 0.02% to 26,195, and futures on the S&P grew 0.28% to 3,126. Traders are still reacting to Jerome Powell's testimony in Congress. His remarks lack optimism. Citing the Fed's chair, the full recovery in the US economy is a far distant prospect because the coronavirus epidemic has not been reined yet. The US dollar responded to the warning by Jerome Powell with its advance against a basket of major currencies. Today, the greenback is trading higher at nearly 97.16 in the early New York trade. At the same time, the US currency remains vulnerable to the Canadian dollar, which finds solid support from rising oil prices. The US dollar versus Canadian dollar pair is still trending downwards. Today, the pair settled down at about 135.40, below the key support level of 135.90. Volatility could increase as traders are evaluating macroeconomic data from the US and Canada, including Canada's CPI for May and a report on building permits in the US. Besides, market participants await the second testimony by Jerome Powell in the Congress. Any unexpected statement could trigger extreme volatility across financial markets. Energy investors are absorbing government data on the US oil inventories. This figure, alongside with the market sentiment in the US stock market, is set to determine a trajectory of oil futures on early Wednesday. In the evening session, both benchmark grades were trading lower. That is all for now. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.